Well, last time was certainly an event. Hello everyone, Artemu, the Violet Wizard here. And today we are continuing Chrono Trigger. Last time, we failed. We failed to prevent Lavos from awakening in the year 12,000 BC. We failed to prevent the destruction of the Kingdom of Zeal. And Crono, the main hero of this journey, is gone. So we are pretty much at the lowest point of our adventure here. After everything we have been through, there's just... what do we do to pick ourselves up after this? Seriously. Guess we can just enjoy the scenery, what little of it is left of this world. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a very interesting session. Now that Crono is gone, we no longer have access to any of his abilities, so we're just going to have to go through it with the other characters that we have at our disposal. So I'm going to be leading with the ladies for this session, as they're pretty close to learning some new techs, so that would be pretty handy for us. So over here we got a few settlements we can check. A few of the enlightened ones did survive, but no distinctions remain between the enlightened and the earthbound now. The Sun Temple of Zeal enshrined a sunstone. Such stones are made by bathing darkened moonstones in the sun's rays. Harvesting enough power to create a sunstone of any worth requires ages, though. Or so I've heard. So yeah, the people of Zeal, or rather, what remains of them, have very little left now. Check back from time to time. He sells whatever washes up here. So if you wait a while, he'll most likely have some new things up for sale. That'd certainly be nice. I can see there's something glittering past you I would like to get. Buy? Well, there's a couple items we can get over here to make up for what we've just been through. Yeah, I've certainly got a good option here. Could be a good idea to pick up some high potions. So gonna grab an extra panacea, and I think that's gonna do it for all the items we need. Is there anything we could sell? There's a couple of weapons we're not gonna need at this point. So of course, all of the weapons that Chrono has at his disposal are gonna be unavailable to us here as well. There's nothing I really want to spend money on, so we're just going to leave the store behind. Then, of course, we have this house if you want to rest and also save your game. So yeah, things in this part of the story are definitely looking bleak. We can see that the epic is washed up over here, but it's kind of wedged between the mountain and the forest, so it's kind of hard for us to reach it at the moment. So, let's check out some more things around here. How can I survive in such a land without my magic? You've no need of magic to survive. Besides, you're not here alone. I suppose you're right. We are alive after all. So long as we are, we must hold on to hope. We've grown too dependent on that fearsome force. It's how it is for a lot of things, really. Everyone and everything was swallowed by the sea. The sea of clouds has parted, and the blizzard at last abated. Could this long and terrible winter be at an end? Must have cried himself to sleep. Let him be. Feeling better, are we? Bow, Charles, and pay homage to your new liege, King Dalton! Oh boy. Look who's back. Why ever the looks of disappointment? You should be thankful you survived. The crazed old crone is gone, and that insufferable prophet with her. Henceforth, Zeal shall be known as the Kingdom of Dalton! Ha 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 ha! You survived? Ah, that ship outside must be yours then, mustn't it? It matches Balthazar's designs perfectly. You're undeserving of such a splendid toy. I shall make it my personal chariot! You've got to be joking! You'll have to come with me. It will not do to have you whispering strange secrets in the ears of this mob. You might start a rebellion. But first... take this! What? Hey, what's that behind you? What? Ah! A little taste of my true power. Can't believe we fell for the easiest trick in the book. Where this? Huh? Our equipment's gone! Other stuff too! Even our money! Ayla still can fight. Go find weapon. Fight Badman. So yep, we have now been imprisoned by Dalton. We've had all of our equipment, all our items taken from us. So that is not very good. Just look at that. I mean, we still got these guys with their equipment, thankfully. However, we are not able to change the party at this point. So we are going to be stuck with this current team for the time being as we deal with whatever is going on here. Heh, like watching sheep. They can't try anything without weapons. But at the very least, Ayla does have one thing at her disposal. Whoa! Sky! Sky! This sky! The Blackbird? So yeah, remember that giant battleship we were at before? Well, we briefly visited. Huh. Wind come in here! It seems we got ourselves an air shaft. There! Can see down! So we can look through the vents in order to see what's going on in the floors below us. There's going to be a lot of guards around here, and a lot of different paths we can take. So it is a very interesting portion of the game here. Got ourselves a bit of a stealth mission until we can recover all of our stolen items. Just gotta patrol for this area and find a good means of being able to progress through here. There's a ladder there that could bring us into another room. So how about we... that's gonna bring us right into a drone. So we're probably gonna look for another way around here. If we could avoid a couple battles until we can get our equipment back, that would be dandy. It's got a ladder down here we can access. But is there anything over here? Just seems like an empty storeroom with nothing of note. Let's try the door here. Well, this is awkward. What are you doing here? So we got ourselves a opportunity to fight against these guys. So Ayla is the only person who is able to act in this portion due to her weapon being her fists. So go ahead and use her throughout this portion to deal with some of the enemies here. Otherwise, if you are using anyone else, you're going to have a tricky time with this whole segment. Just be very careful when patrolling this area, as we got enemies all around here. We can flip these switches in order to change the direction that those things are gonna hang around in. What are you doing here? Ow. But yeah, the name of the game here is just trying to maneuver ourselves around the Blackbird and dealing with all the various hazards we're going to see around here. There's going to be a ton of enemies, but as long as you got Ayla, you should be able to handle most of them. Seems like he wasn't guarding anything, but at least that will clear up a path for us. And yeah, we don't currently have any means of being able to heal ourselves other than our attacks. So it's another thing we need to pay attention to. Might be a good idea to actually head back into the vents, or we could just look around and see what we can find around here. What are you doing here? Just snooping as usual. Don't mind us. I mean, we do have Ayla, so I'm not too worried if we get into encounters with guys here. Yeah, but definitely seems like there's a ton of RPGs that have these stealth segments where you're just trying to navigate an area with all of your gear taken away. And just finding the best possible way of being able to maneuver through these segments. Can I look down the grate, please? Oh, that looks promising. Recovered Luca's equipment. Alright, so with that, Luca now has everything that she previously had equipped to her. So now she is able to act. Huh? What are you doing here? Gonna kick your ass, that's what. So yeah, the name of the game is going all throughout the Blackbird, being able to deal with all of the threats around here while trying to nab all of our equipment, our money, our items. Try to get all of that while trying to avoid battles when you can. Alright, that's gonna be a drone. I mean, we got 2 people here, so we could easily deal with this thing. Alright, we'll go around Dillo, and we did learn a new ability, but don't think we're gonna be able to do it until after. Yeah, I'm gonna wait a while before we do this. It is very nice now having some more options for dealing with these guys here. Whoa, so we got that to worry about. Alright, so that room's gonna be a dead end. So let's head in here. Oh, that looks promising. What are you doing here? Don't mind us, just gonna blast you away. Okay, let's go for Inferno. This is going to be a combination attack using Ayla and Luca, dealing fire damage to all enemies. Oh, look at that. That is so good. And for being those guys, we got our money back. All right, now I can access the Blackbird's gift shop. And, oh boy. That's just gonna lead to another exterior that we're not gonna be able to access. Is there anything around here we could do? I feel like we're in the lower portion of the ship here. Yeah, it can be a little tricky to navigate around here. Alright, be best to try and clear these guys out here. Try to sneak into these other rooms. So we also got a flame kick, also combining Ayla and Luca's abilities. So that's very good. It's kind of a shame at this point how we have our characters unable to use their weapons, and yet we should easily be able to use our techs, even if we don't have the ability to attack. I don't know, that's always been kind of weird to me about this segment. Like, Marl should be able to use her ice attacks. Yeah, it's a little weird, but not that much of a deal breaker. So by beating that drone, we can now access this, getting us Ayla's equipment. That's going to be very good. We're definitely taking a bit of a beating since we had all of our armor taken away, but now Ayla can hit good again. And now that we've taken care of that, where else can we go? So that's not going to be anything we need. It's got these guys over here we can deal with. Sure, just ignore the conveyor belts. Let's actually charm this guy and see what he can give us. I actually didn't see what he gave me. Yeah, that's another way you can obtain items around here that could be useful to you by using Ayla's charm. Get out of here. See what we picked up. That was... Oh, did we not get anything, actually? That's a little disappointing. If we get up this way... brings us over here. Okay, let's do an Inferno. Take all these guys out at once. So, I apologize right now if I start to sound a little bit tired, because I just got out of a 4-day work period, and that was pretty exhausting. Ooh, we got the parties inventory with that. So now we got all our items back. Hooray! Oh, it's so good. Having our full inventory again. It's definitely very good. So I believe at this point we just need to get Misty's gear, and then we should be good to leave the ship. I can hear something over here. Some stuff's still gone. No need. So, through that path is going to be our way out of here. So we are not going to be taking that path at the moment, because we still need to get Marl's stuff. But we should be fine to deal with these guys. We are more than well equipped for dealing with them. Very good, ladies. Okay, there was that door that we were previously in before. Alright, we got that one already. So, how about we check this door? But yeah, I am definitely excited for how things are going to be going in a little bit. As next week is going to be a pretty nice day for, well, next week is going to be a pretty nice period for us, as I am actually going to be heading out to go on a little vacation over to the cottage that my mom has been fixing up over the last couple of months. What are you doing here? Oh, that is a lot of guys for us to blast with fire. Take this! But yeah, it's gonna be pretty fun, as not only is it gonna be a nice break from work where I don't have to worry about any of that crap for a couple days, But we are also going to be holding my mom's second marriage there, which I'm definitely very excited for that. Like, she's been with her current partner for quite a long time now, and I am very happy for them. So I'm very excited to get to see that happening. Alright, that should be the last chest we need. Alright, you scum. Let's knock these guys out of this ship. Bam! And for dealing with those guys, we get Misty's equipment. And with that, I believe that's everything we need to grab before leaving the Blackbird. Very good. And of course, we still cannot change up our party during this segment, but we should be fine. Now, what we just learned was another tech on Luca, and that is the Megaton Bomb. Blast enemies within a circle. So basically, it's a stronger version of the napalm. Definitely going to be pretty useful to us as a good offensive option for her. But yeah, that should be everything we need to deal with here. Since we got our items, we got our money, we got all the equipment from our current party. So we should be good to finally leave the ship. We're going to want to head this way. Luckily, the things around here aren't too tough, so it's not very easy to get, like, a stun locked in this area. I'm actually wondering if we should... Yeah, Ayla's getting pretty low on MP, so... we'll probably use a shelter at the save point. Let's get ourselves fueled up and prepared for what we're going to do next. Because obviously, we got to get off the ship. And how exactly are we going to achieve that? Well, don't you worry. Shouldn't be too hard for us to break out of here. And what was the correct path out? It's this door. So as we are now on the wing of the Blackbird, so we're going to be pushed around by the air. And then we got these turrets all throughout the wing of the ship. So these guys are going to cast Omni Lock on you, preventing you from using your attacks. And that is quite nasty. You want to try and take these things out during your trip to the Blackbird, since this is our only opportunity to be able to fight these things. Just get your attacks in as quick as you can. Maybe equip an item that can increase your accuracy to help you in this segment. But shouldn't be too much trouble. If we can at least get one of these, I would be happy. Come on. Alright, that's one. It's another hit, but it's not enough to take you out. Come on. Ah, damn it. It's the fact that these enemies are self-destructing after a while. It actually reminds me, because I was playing as Xenoblade Chronicles 2 again, since that game recently got an update where it had a lot of performance enhancements as well as some quality of life updates on the Nintendo Switch 2. And so one of the challenges I was doing in that game involved fighting some enemies that are able to self-destruct, and god, those things were annoying. Especially because one of them had so much health, and if it manages to self-destruct, then it will just kill you and your entire party in one hit, thus ending the mission prematurely, which was very annoying. But I managed to find a way to cheese past that self-destruct attack, so I was able to complete the mission, which was very nice. But yeah, I've been very happy with revisiting Xenoblade 2, since obviously it's a game I wanted to revisit for quite some time, and with the re-release it had on the Nintendo Switch, definitely feels like a good opportunity to get to play some more of it. Why'd you cast Omni-Lock twice on us, you guys? Yep, now we got 2 of these things to deal with in a single fight, which obviously isn't going to be too good for us. But if we can at least take one of them out, we should be able to get a good reward here. So yeah, you want to take these things out because they give a lot of experience and TP when you kill them, which is definitely good for leveling up your guys. Okay, at least we got one of them in that battle. And we got a mid-ether. It's quite nice as well. So we should be just about at the end of the ship here. Huh? What's going on? Oh boy. It's another one of these guys. That's... Yep, we got ourselves yet another golem. So this guy, we're going to want to take him out as quickly as we can. As we know from our last encounters with these guys, they can be pretty nasty. Golem Overlord. So yeah, this is going to be a timed battle. We're going to want to take care of this thing as fast as we can. So for doing that, you want to use combination attacks, or try to do as much as you can against this guy. Sure, let's go with a Megaton Bomb, see what we're able to do with that. Woo, that's some really good damage there, Luca. So the Golem Overlord will start counting down after a while. So yeah, that's why you want to be very careful with this guy. Alright, for you, let's go with another Flame Kick, and then... Misty, you cast haste on yourself. I want to try to get in as many attacks as we can. He's still counting down. Let's go Antipode Bomb 2. So this will be a much stronger attack, utilizing both Luca and Misty's abilities. Just do massive damage with fire and ice. Alright, you two do an Iceberg Toss and Megaton Bomb. Get wrecked, scrub! So unlike the other Golem battles, it doesn't matter if you use physical attacks against this guy, just... he seems distracted by something. Now, whatever, let's just keep blasting him. Let's try to do as much damage as we can to the Golem Overlord. Oh, he's counting down again. Alright, go for an Iceberg Toss, and then Megaton Bomb. There we go! We beat the Golem Overlord. And we get a ton of experience and TP and money for beating that guy. Phew! Mwahaha! I've done it! It's complete! See these beautiful wings? This is a throne truly fit for a king. I name it the Arrow Dalton Imperial, and those meddlesome interlopers shall be her first victims. Arrow Dalton Imperial, prepare for takeoff! No, 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 and no! Stop the music! Ha ha ha! Yes, there we go. Now then. So apparently the music in this game is purely diegetic. Arrow Dalton Imperial, away! Look! The Epic! It can fly?! Her name is not the Epic, it's the Arrow Dalton Imperial! And you, I'm afraid, are excess baggage! Ha 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 ha! Time to make like the wind and blow you all away! Mwahaha! Yes! Squirm about like the worms you are! Go, Epic, now! It's all your fault, Hayden! Get back, Hayden! You! So now the real fight on the Blackbird begins. Dalton on board the Epic. This guy is going to be pretty similar to the last time we fought him. Only now this guy has himself a magic counter, so it would probably be a good idea to attack using physical moves. But yeah, Dalton is definitely not kidding around here. You can go ahead and cure yourself. Oh yeah, so if we attack with melee, he's gonna do the Iron Spear move. So yeah, that is the whole deal with this fight. Dalton will counter every action dealt to him. Golem Overlord! Ha 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 ha! Hmm? What? Huh? Oh! No! And we beat him! He tried to summon a golem to fight for him, but because we already beat the Overlord, he had nothing to summon, and so he was pulled into the gate. Is the Epic alright? Epic, okay? More importantly, how do we control this thing? Luca, try hitting X! I tried, but that didn't do anything. Eep! That's not good. Oh, try A! Uh-oh. This was not my fault. This was not built to code. Hurrah! Justice! Dalton's been paid his due. Mercy, that ship can fly? Whew! I think I got a handle on it. Epic happy! Epic become bird! And I just been thinking about upgrading it myself too. Oh well. Hayden. Misty. Hayden strong! Hayden no die! Hayden's gotta be somewhere. I'll find him. So yep, it seems that Dalton actually left us with something quite nice. So now the Epic has been upgraded, so now that it's capable of flight. Though sadly, we're not going to be able to do anything with that at the moment, as we are pretty dead set on trying to find where Chrono has ended up. even though it seems pretty obvious what happened. But, you know, we gotta have hope, even when things seem hopeless. But yeah, quite the interesting event we had there, in order to justify the epic getting upgraded. So about those boss fights on the Blackbird. So the thing with the Golem Overlord is that he will never attack you. It turns out that the Golem Overlord is scared of heights, so it will always hesitate before attacking. And after enough time has passed, it will actually run away. That's why I recommend taking it out as quickly as you can in order to get the experience it gives you. Because, yeah, that was very nice indeed. But now that we've taken care of that, Luca had just learned a new tech. So how about we swap you out of the party? And given what we currently have available to us, I feel like bringing Wart in would be pretty important for something coming up. We are quite a ways away from him being able to learn a new tech, but you know, it is nice to have him around, you know? So somewhere in this era is going to be a clue to what we can do next. Though I wonder exactly where we're going to go to get it. He's got more goods. So now we got ourselves some new weapons that we're able to buy over here. Though nothing really seems that integral. But I do want to highlight this item here. The Headman's Scythe. A weapon that none of us is able to wield. Curious. Yeah, let's go ahead and buy some armor. Now we have an opportunity. We'll buy 3 of those, and then 5 of these. And let's start equipping ourselves with some new gear. So yeah, what is something else that we can mention here? Just trying to think of a bunch of different things we could potentially talk about, but well, I guess that's not too important because we already got ourselves fully equipped. Yay! And now we also got a couple more items that we can buy here. Let's go ahead and buy some more shelters, since we used a few of those earlier. So we're able to buy mid-ethers now. They're pretty pricey, but restore a lot of MP, so that'd be very handy to have for later. Sadly, we still can't get past this guy. Let's go check out the village commons now that we dealt with Dalton. Such a mysterious little tree. Perhaps someday it'll help us paint the land green again. So this was the lady who was told to dispose of that seedling back in the Kingdom of Zeal. The sun ever rises on the morrow. There's little we can do but live for today, and trust that other days will follow. It's good to see some smiles of hope. This despair is quite contagious, I fear. I glimpsed the figure of a man on the North Cape. I hope he was up to no ill. So she's talking about the Sun Temple again. Hooray, hooray! So that kid with a little cat there. Another stranger washed ashore not long after the tide carried you here. He seemed to be searching for someone. No one's ever seen the person who came after you, not even in the world above. Could he have been a friend of yours? The villagers are slowly coming around as well. They simply need time to accept their fate. We will all have to start again from scratch, and that's not something people are wont to concede. It warms my heart to see him so full of energy. Well, the Kingdom of Zeal may be destroyed, but its people will go on living. And eventually, they will father and mother the people of our time. It is quite sad to see their civilization come to an end, but there's always a silver lining. More life will follow after destruction. That's just the nature of things. But We did hear that there was someone over by the cape that we might want to go check on. So, it's you. Magus! Behold, all of it rests at the bottom of the sea. Gone is the magical Kingdom of Zeal, and all the dreams and ambitions of its people. I lived there once, but I was another person then. What's this? A dimensional vortex? We were right then! This power is beyond human control! Oh no, we'll be dragged into the rift! Shala!
No, Janus! Stay away! But...
So now we're seeing what happened in the original timeline before we interfered. It's a time gate? No!
Shala! Janus!
That was how Melchior ended up in Medina. Balthazar ended up in the ruined future. And... What? What is this place? Hello? There's no one here. Is this the end of time? And... You were that boy! I've lived only for the thought of slaying Lavos, ever since his rifted time's fabric stranded me in the Middle Ages. And just as I had summoned him to my castle, you arrived to interfere. To think I would be drawn through yet another portal, only to find myself returned to this age. Ironic, is it not? Being from the future, my knowledge of the past enabled me to convince the Queen that I was an oracle of no small power. And so again I worked to draw the beast out. But no history book could have prepared me for what ensued. Unimaginable is the power of Lavos. Before him, all are as leaves cast to the bitter winds that howl about death's black wings. Stay this course, and your fate will be the same as that fool Hayden's. You dare dishonor him? Play with fire and you get burned. A lesson better learned sooner than later. The weak go quickly to their graves. Stay your tongue, Magus! You wish to fight me? So this opens up a choice here. If you select yes, you will engage in another battle against Magus. And afterwards, you are successfully able to deal with the Fiend Lord, ending his wretched life. However, there is another path for us. Taking your life will not restore Hayden or Cyrus theirs. So all along, Magus was really Janus, the young prince of the Kingdom of Zeal, who was cast into the Middle Ages by Lavos when it was initially awakened all those years ago. He was found by Ozzy, who then took him on as an apprentice, and eventually, once he realized the magic power that Magus possessed was greater than his own, made him the leader of the Fiends. Quite the interesting story revelation there. Wait! I'll accompany you. Are you mad? I said the fool was dead. I did not say his death could not be undone. Of what do you speak? Gaspar, the Guru of Time, knows the way to restore those streams of time that have been diverted from their proper courses. So yeah, Magus now joins us as our final team member. However, now we know his true name. Welcome to the team, Janus. So, our new buddy here is definitely quite interesting compared to the other party members that we have gained on our travels, as is going to be very evident to us. So, Magus. He is a Dark Element character, and his signature weapon are scythes. He's also got quite a few interesting bits of gear, but so probably want to give him the Time Hat, as nothing else is really that good for him. He has Raven Armor, which is honestly better than what we currently have, but only by a little bit. And he's also got Shala's Amulet, the very same amulet that Shala gave to him when he was but a boy in order to offer protection. And of course, it does protect you from status ailments. Like, that is such a great touch, having this little character moment between the two siblings actually lead to you gaining a piece of equipment that is just so good. Oh, I love that. Such a great attention to detail there. But yeah, with Magus joining us as our final team member, what is he able to do? Well, as you can obviously tell, Janus here is a mage. So his build is based around being a black mage, where he's all about offensive magic. He naturally has Lightning 2, Ice 2, and Fire 2, making him about as good as Chrono, Marl, and Luca in terms of power. And of course, he naturally has Dark Magic, which was previously only obtained using dual techs or by some of Robbie's abilities. So that is going to be very nice indeed. And looking at our current techs here, so it seems they're going to be about the third closest to learning a new skill. So just going to rearrange the party in order to illustrate that. Yeah, it's typically what I do in these playthroughs, is just look at who has the most, or who is the closest to having their next tech, and then putting them in the lead of the party. What can I say? I'm obsessive-compulsive like that. But anyway, now that we have Janus in our party, want to return to the inn here, well, the shop, because we can now buy a new weapon. So the Headman's Scythe and all other scythes are weapons that Magus is able to equip. And we currently don't have enough money, so give me a second. The Empyrean Blade we're definitely not going to need, as that was weaker than what Crono currently had equipped. So yeah, with most of our money here, we can now buy a better weapon for Janus. That'll definitely be helpful. We'll mostly be using Janus for his magic powers, but being able to also attack stronger physically is going to be handy for some things going forward. But yeah, very cool development how the villain of one of the major story arcs in this game now joins us at the 11th hour as one of our party members. Such a great detail when it comes to, like, a whole bunch of stuff. I really love that when stories do that, where they subvert your expectations of what a character is going to do in a particular piece of media. So look at this. Now that we have Janus in our party, the cat is going to follow him around. Mister, is this your cat? So this is the very same cat that we saw with the young Janus back in the Kingdom of Zeal. It recognized its master even after all this time. Isn't that cute? It's like, aww. But yeah, like I said before, Magus is also an optional party member. You do not need to recruit him into your party. Though doing so will obviously unlock his abilities in your party, as well as giving you additional ending scenarios, should you defeat Lavos at this point. What's that? That's... Oh boy. It's like it's calling us. Ayla no like boat. Boat no like Ayla. The ocean palace, but no.
Uh-oh! Look at that screen! It looks like something is happening!
Oh boy, new things are opening up all throughout time. Is Lavos' hand in this as well? Ayla not understand. Think too much. Head go boom.
What's happening to our world?
So now we have the ability to fly on our new Wings of Time. Yeah, now they actually have a much more appropriate name here. And now that we have access to this, we can now travel to places on the map that were previously unavailable to us. From this point on, the game opens up so much. There is a ton of stuff you are now able to do. And we're definitely going to be doing a good chunk of the things in this adventure. There are a couple things I'm probably not going to do, at least at the moment. Also, from this point onward, the barrier that Shala placed over that one time rift is now gone. So now we can return to the end of time from that portal whenever we wish. So that's convenient. But yeah, about that big black fortress that's now in the sky. So that is the now transformed Ocean Palace. It has now become the stage for the last trials of the game. That is indeed the final dungeon of the game. Once you go there, you'll be heading off to the final challenges and eventually leading to a potentially good ending for this story, where we are able to finally wrap up the developments with the Kingdom of Zeal, and potentially put an end to Queen Zeal as well. She is too far gone at this point, now nothing more than a puppet for Lavos. So at this point, there really isn't too much we're able to do in this era. So how about we use the Wings of Time to go to another era? There's a bunch of things that are now available to us, and out of all the things that we are able to do, I want to head to the end of time. As there is one quest that I feel would be most integral for us to do here first. Oh, where'd that sprightly young man? I see. How terrible. There's little I can do for you, but let me honor him with a song. I'll call it Memories of Hayden. Were there anything more I could do, I would, but I fear I can be of little aid.
We're looking for the Guru of Time.
The Guru of Time, you say? I know of him, but what business have you with the Guru of Time?
We heard he knows a way to bring Hayden back.
Ah, yes. To break death's hold over one you hold dearer still. You are not the first to witch such a thing, nor will you be the last. Hayden must be happy indeed, knowing such dear friends as you. Hey! Yes? Here, take this with you. Egg! Ayla, eat! Okay, eat? That is the Chrono trigger, a time egg. Should you wish to try and hatch it, the one who crafted your wings of time can tell you the way. But know that it may not necessarily hatch the results which you desire. The Chrono trigger represents potential. Results require action. As long as you keep Hayden in your heart and pursue what you seek, the result should follow. But I can make no guarantees. I see it now. It's you, isn't it?
Wait, then, does that mean you're Gaspar, the Guru of Time?
Yes, I believe that's what they used to call me. But that was long, long ago. Obtained Chrono trigger. So yep, all this time the old man here at the end of time was the true identity of the Guru of Time, Gaspar. So he's secretly been here guiding us the whole time. Aw, man, such a good revelation here. And also, we got the namesake item of the game. So yeah, the Chrono trigger is our key to getting Chrono back. Also, I find it pretty funny how the item that the entire game is named after is completely optional. You do not need to get this thing in order to get the ending of the game. All you need to do to beat the game is defeat Lavos. You never have to pick this thing up. But it is integral if we're gonna get our friend back. Speaking of which, while we're here at the end of time with our current levels, I want to see if we are able to deal with Specchio at this point. Just looking at what we have available to us. I'm probably going to bring in Wart in order to have his group healing abilities here. And in terms of equipment, what I would most like is things in order to absorb elements. So we don't currently have access to any of the equipment that Crono had on him. However, we do have access to the plates that are able to absorb magic. And that's going to be quite useful while we're fighting Specchio here. You're not really going to need the power scar for this, so let's give you the speed belt, because some extra speed would be nice. And we don't really need to worry about status ailments from this guy, so we could boost our HP and have a better chance of being able to weather his abilities. So I think we'll give that to Magus, and we'll go challenge Specchio here. So now that we're past level 30, he now has the likeness of a Gowler. Hey, that spiky-haired fellow hasn't been coming around lately. Wowza, you holding a Marlin here, kids. He can use shadow magic. He can probably teach me a thing or two, but there's nothing I can teach him. Yep, Magus is already a master of magic, so Specchio has nothing to teach him. Alright. Alright, let's see what we can do this time. So Specchio here is definitely going to be a very tough opponent. He now has access to magic that's able to target multiple people at once. And that is going to be very nasty. So we want to do our best in order to be able to weather his blows. We got tons of options for dealing with him, so we'll just try our best. We got 2 healers. We got some great offensive power here. We'll do our best against this guy. Alright, not too bad, all things considered. Let's go for an ice water combo there. Just do 1 massive hit, and then we'll have Magus attack. So, another characteristic with Magus, he does not have any dual techs with your other characters. So, you are not able to do combinations with him. However, there is a way to get him to synchronize with the other party members, but that requires very specific and esoteric means that we'll be going into a little bit later. Okay, now he's going for a fire attack. Definitely use some healing after this. Alright, that might just take out Magus. Nope, he's hanging in there. Alright, Marl will use your turn to heal up Magus. Let's go for Lightning, and then Cure 2. That should be able to get you up to full. So yeah, definitely pretty interesting having to face Specchio here again. But I mean, he has access to some good items should we beat him. So sadly, we don't have any way of dealing with... Yeah, we don't have anything that can absorb lightning magic in this party, since Chrono had our only white plate. But we should be fine. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Let's just wait so that we can try a dual cast. Oh, never mind, we beat him! And we learned Glacial Freeze dual tech and double cure!
Oh me, oh my! That was embarrassing. Guess you, ain't so bad after all. Here, this is for you.
Specchio's Healthy Choice Set. Obtain 1 magic capsule and 5 high ethers.
What can I say? I'm the master of war.
Oh, that is very good. So yeah, we actually had a pretty easy time against him, all things considered. Really goes to show if you go out of your way to get all the good items that you can really have an easy time against these optional battles. Okay, let's swap around our equipment, since we don't need the elemental plates on us at the moment. And... yeah, Ward, we'll give you the power scarf back, and then Janice... So, you see this gemstone that we picked up in the Kingdom of Zeal? That is actually the key to accessing Magus's triple techs. So now if we go into options here... Okay, we actually haven't learned the skills necessary to activate that, so we're not going to be able to use it at the moment. But yeah, there are these various gemstones you can find that can enable you to use Janus's full power, which would be very useful to us some point in the future. Okay, don't need to worry about Ward at the moment. Just gonna check just how close some of our other characters are going to be learning their techs, and then we should be good to go. Yeah, it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while, and definitely gonna be a while. Okay, so for the time being, I think we're gonna go with this party. So, now that we've gotten the Chrono trigger from our buddy Gaspar here, it's time to board the Epic. As the first thing I want to do as part of our long chain of side quests that we're able to do at this point, we want to go to the future, as this is going to lead us to the path of getting Chrono back. So if we return to the future, look at that. So the Ocean Palace is going to be present in every era of time, not just in the Kingdom of Zeal. Well, what's left of it anyway. So that is definitely very nasty. So yep, you're able to access the final dungeon from any era, which could certainly be helpful to you for a few reasons, but we're going to go into that much later. For now, let's return to the Keeper's Dome. This is where we last saw what was left of Balthazar after he injected his mind into that of Anu. Oh, we can get a magic capsule over here. Thanks for that. It's been a while since we've gotten these, so definitely aching to improve our MP. So we'll give these to Misty, because she obviously needs those for ice damage and healing. Hey, Balthazar. Death Peak harbors a power capable of restoring the slain to life. But the power to reverse death is not one easily invoked. The need must be great, and the person's existence of the utmost importance. And what's more, you'll need a double, a doll identical to that person in every detail. Then, and only then, will the power deign to hatch the egg. Without the doll, there's no meaning in going to Death Peak. Go to the place you've left it and retrieve it with all haste. So yeah, remember back in the very first session of this series we did, we went to the Millennial Fair, and by playing some of the games there, we acquired a prize in the form of the doll, which was a mannequin in Chrono's likeness. Now is finally the time to cash in on that. God, it's so ominous seeing that thing in like every era now. But yep, we are going to want to return back to Truce. So our mother is currently not here. Oh, there she is.
Oh, hello. Is Hayden all right? He's great. Better than great. Well, I hope he's not causing you too much trouble. You tell him I said to behave himself, all right? Listen, yes? We're just gonna borrow this doll, all right? Go right ahead, dear. You stay out of trouble now.
We haven't the heart to tell her what happened. Honestly, how would she react to finding out that her only child is gone? That is news that no parent ever wants to hear. But yep, now that we have obtained the doll, our next path is going to be in the future. So you need to win the doll at the Millennial Fair in order to continue this quest. Thankfully, you do not need Crono in your party to win the doll. You receive it anyway, regardless of whether if he is in the party or not. Which, you know, is definitely very handy. I appreciate that a lot. Let's go talk to Balthazar again. Yes, that will do quite well. It seems the time has come for you to attempt Death Peak. It's the only chance you have of reviving your friend. I've implanted one final program. Truly, I mean it this time, in this construct's memory banks. It will help to guide you up the mountain. Please stand back.
Executing program. Executing program.
So I don't know what these little toys are gonna do, but, you know, they can execute their programs. The free entities you just saw will aid you on Death Peak. This ends my message. Now, I must ask you for a favor. This construct has reached the end of his final program. Please, let him rest. The switch is on his stomach. Switch the construct off? Sure. Time no longer appears to flow for this construct. And with that, we have finally put Balthazar to rest. He has done so much for us in our journey to put an end to Lavos, constructing the epic, giving us our clues and our keys to being able to bring Chrono back from the dead. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Alright, given our current time here, we probably have a good amount of time to actually do this. So it's time to finally head to Death Peak.
Walk when the wind dies down and hide behind trees when it picks up strength.
So when we were last in this area, the wind was blowing so harshly that we were unable to get past here. However, after talking to Balthazar, we now have the means of being able to go forward. And this area is going to be quite interesting. We have a lot of foes to deal with on our way up the mountain. Namely, we got these guys, Blood Yokes. So these guys can be a bit nasty. They can actually absorb HP from your party members. So it would be good to take these guys out as soon as you can. But yeah, Death Peak. This is a very fascinating landmark compared to everything else we have seen on this journey. As we heard from Balthazar, after Lavos awoke and destroyed the world, what became of the monstrosity? Well, we're on it. What did we just pick up there? I think it was another magic ring. So yeah, I think that was a magic ring we picked up. So that'll be good to give to us. So yeah, Misty, you could use that for your magic. And then I'm going to give Shala's amulet back to Janice in case there's anything else we need to worry about around here. But yeah, like what I said before, Death Peak is Lavos. Now the creature has destroyed the world and drained it of all of its life energy, it has no more need to assume a physical form. So now the monster is just sitting here on the remains of this ruined planet, just content. And that sickens me. Just all the death and destruction this thing has caused, and now it's just turned into a mountain. It doesn't care at all about the destruction it's caused. Such a vile entity. But yeah, all around here, climbing up the Death Peak, we got a lot that we gotta take care of around here. And we definitely got a lot of trials we're going to face up here if we are going to bring Chrono back. Thankfully, we have everything we need to climb up the mountain. We just need to deal with all the threats along the way. So these monsters that have grown and mutated on the shell of Lavos' body. So after being that guy, we learned a new skill, Dino Tail. Hits all foes and has higher damage when Ayla's HP is lower. So we're not going to be using that anytime soon, but you know, it's nice that we have this as an option for later. Alright, Luca, what do you have that could be good? Now, currently have the third eye on you to increase evasion. I guess that'd be nice. So I want to look around this area as much as we can. I don't believe this is a one-and-done area, but you do want to be thorough around here, because there could be some good loot you can grab. Oh, look at that, we got a ghost. So, of course, this mountain is going to invite a lot of death around here. Thankfully, we have plenty of means of dealing with these guys. We got multiple attacks right now that can deal with multiple groups of enemies. We should have very little trouble dispatching with these fiends. So we head over here. I believe this is a save point. So yeah, we can use that in order to have a quick save point here. Barrier ring. So I believe that is going to be a defense increasing item. Could be quite nice. Alright, I saw that there was something glimmering up there, but we'll probably have to go at it from a different angle. This area can be a little tricky to navigate with all the different twisting pathways. It's got more of these guys to deal with here. They are the Macabre. A very fitting name for what is essentially the lost souls of people who have died in this era. And trust me, there's been a lot of death in this time. Humanity is barely holding on by a thread because of Lavos. Alright, Misty, you're getting a little low, so let's heal you up. We press onward. Look at that. Got ourselves a very familiar face here. So this thing is one of Lavos' spawn. So for this enemy, you want to be very careful fighting this thing. You want to attack its head, not the shell. If you attack the shell, it will do a counterattack, so watch out. And it's also got some abilities that can negatively affect you like that. Gonna need a panacea to cure that. So yeah, this guy, you definitely want to be careful. I think we have plenty of lapises we could use to heal. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Just strike the head, try to use concentrated attacks that do not strike the body, and you should be good. But yeah, the presence of these things on Death Peak here illustrates another aspect of Lavos that cannot go understated. So Lavos is a parasitic life form that dwelt within the planet for eons in order to facilitate its own growth. And now that it has managed to destroy the world... Ow. Don't worry, we'll be fine. So yeah, now that Lavos has successfully consumed the world, it is now beginning to breed. So its spawn are going to be growing here on Death Peak before eventually leaving the planet in order to continue the cycle of death. Alright, we definitely need to get Marl healed up, but we can't do that until we get ourselves healed here. Okay, we'll do Athenian water to restore you, and then High Potion to get you healed back up. But yeah, Lavos' spawn here can definitely be very tricky. They have just a lot of attacks that can be really nasty. They're able to inflict status ailments to you. They're able to do a lot of damage to your party. And like I said before, they have a counterattack if you strike the shell. So you have to be careful when fighting these guys. Do not be hasty. That's going to... Okay, you're fine. You're fine. Don't worry. So what's something else we can talk about while we're fighting this little pest? So very recently I've been getting back into playing Mario and Luigi Dream Team due to a Let's Player that I follow, revisiting that game himself. And I've been definitely having a very fun time of it. Like, at the current point of the game that I'm at, I am at the point where we run into some very funny Russian caricatures, but, you know, they're just very humorous characters, and I really like getting to interact with these guys in particular, just because they have such extravagant personalities, you know? And just in general, I've been really enjoying the core gameplay of Dream Team. Like, I've only beaten the game one other time before revisiting it due to Let's Plays. So, I've definitely been having a fun time going through it and getting to re-experience a lot of things about it that I definitely would say that I'm having much more fun playing it now than I did before. Yeah, there's definitely quite a few moments that had me very miffed in a few regards. But I've definitely been having fun with the game now. Alright. Definitely took a big beating against that Lavos baby. Let's heal you guys up. We have plenty of items. So let's go ahead and use those. Also, we have freaking barrier spheres. We might as well start using these things. Actually want to use a shield sphere, because I think that's going to be most handy against the Lavos babies. But yeah, we dealt with one of those things, but that's not all we're going to find here. We got more blood yolks, obviously. Alright, could blast them with an antipode bomb. If they somehow survive Janice's attack here. Alright, get a level up on Luca for that. Sadly, that does not give us an easy way over there. We can head over this way and grab... Well, we can hit that switch, allowing us to access that. Okay. Sadly, we're not going to be able to head back easily. It should be fine. We have plenty of options for dealing with these guys. I am not too worried. In terms of some other things I wanted to discuss. So, next week we are not going to have any stream sessions, as I'm going to be on vacation for most of that week. And then I also have work that I gotta do when I'm not on vacation. So, yep, there's not going to be a stream session during that time. But, you know, it's fine. I need a break from this channel every now and then, so I'll definitely be taking good advantage of my break. Just trying to relax, try to get some reading for things that I've wanted to start reading for quite a while now. Ooh, so we got a new weapon over here, the Hadean Sickle. So that'll be good for Janice. So go ahead and grab that. Just got one of these little things. Let's just smack it. There we go. Sometimes the easiest solution or problem is the simplest. If we head over here, we got another one of Lavos's kids to deal with. Oh boy. Like I said before, do not attack the body. And make sure you are keeping your party healthy, because these guys do so much damage. They may be smaller than their mother, but they still hit hard. But yeah, Lavos as a concept is just fascinating to me. Just anthropomorphizing the idea of, like, natural disasters and a global atrocity as these massive parasitic monsters. We're basically fighting a giant tick that is draining the life force of an entire planet for sustenance. And yeah, that is just very fascinating to me. I definitely like a lot of the touches they do to make Lavos very unique compared to a lot of other monsters that we have seen in other games. Like, we've seen a Square do very similar concepts before with... Oh man, this is gonna hurt. Yep, that thing just wiped us out. It is so mean. Am I gonna die to every single one of these things we encounter here on the mountain? So the thing that really screwed us over was that Marl got confused, and when she was confused, she attacked the shell, thus triggering its counterattack. So yeah, that was rough. However, we should be good here, as long as we get in a good rhythm, and don't get any more trouble against this thing. We should be fine. Luca, you need more healing than Magus does. But yeah, very cool of this game to personify the concept of, like, natural disasters and global atrocities into a form that we would be able to naturally defeat. Okay, you're asleep, so let's panacea you. Uh-oh, Luca's confused. That's not good. Right, can you cure Magus? And then we need to cure Luca of that confuse. I do not want you attacking the shell. Here, take this, and stop being discombobulated, girl. Alright, here comes a big hit. These things really hurt. They're definitely some of the toughest enemies we've encountered in this game so far. Which, obviously, you can tell since it's using the boss battle theme against what's essentially just a regular enemy. I mean, I guess you could technically consider these things like a mid-boss for this specific area. But I don't know. Okay, do cure on Luca, because she's the most hurt. Luckily, we don't need to worry about Janice being affected by status ailments since he has Shala's amulet. And after dealing with that guy, we get an elixir, and Misty learned Arise, and Janice learns Dark Bomb. So, Arise is the last tech that Misty is able to learn. revives and fully heals allies. Definitely a good skill to have, thus making her easily the best healer we got. And Janice now has Dark Bomb, which will deal dark element damage to enemies. And that he has also got Barrier to boost magic defense. So that could be quite useful for later. Alright, so Misty, we're all out of text to learn on you, so I think you're good to go for now. So she's probably going to be low priority for a little bit, just because we don't have any more skills to learn. And we could definitely benefit from Robbie having some good mixed healing abilities. That should be very handy for us. Especially with what we have to deal with around here. Alright, let's heal up, since we did take quite a bit of a beating. And we should be good. We did pick up a new weapon for Robbie while we're here on Death Peak, so that's going to be very nice. Oh, look, got another one of these guys. The footing here is icy and slick. Be careful. Fall, and you'll have to start over. So you got to very carefully maneuver yourself across this ice bridge. But for making it all the way to the end, we now end up over here. We got more of these little egg guys to deal with. Thankfully, we have plenty of attacks, so not worried. It's honestly a really good party offensively. Learn Fire Tackle Dual Tech. So we got a bunch of these enemies that are just going to be constantly spawning from the top of the mountain there. Definitely very nasty. So we did pick up a new weapon, but I don't believe anyone's able to equip that yet. Yeah, that's most likely going to be a Chrono weapon. But yep, we got those blood yolks that are going to fall that we got to deal with. But now we can make it over here. Push the shell. Climb the shell. Good advice there, buddy. So we can get over here, and would you look at that? We got another one of these lava spawn to deal with. Alright, this shouldn't be too bad. Now we got some better healing options here. Alright, so what I'm actually going to do, I wanted to do a dual tech with Robbie, but we need a heal after that attack. So I'm just going to wait a bit. Okay, use your heal beam. That should get us pretty close to full here. Nice. Dark Bomb is also going to be a group attack, so I'm not going to worry about that. But yep, now we have access to Fire Tackle, which is going to combine Luca and Robbie's abilities to do some really explosive damage. Woo, that was good. Uh-oh, don't put my robot to sleep. Ah, never mind. See, this is what happens when we do not install the proper updates. Alright, let's do another Fire Tackle, and we should be good. Ow. Please die. Oh, never mind, we got it with a counterattack. That was really weird. No, well. So now we dealt with that guy. We've destroyed the main body, but the shell remains. And as that little doll was saying, we were able to push the shell over here. So now we can climb up it, higher up the mountain. Very convenient. We can grab a memory cap. So that's going to be some good equipment, I feel. Prevents lock. So that'd be very handy if you want to... You know what? You have the time hat. That's pretty redundant while you have Shala's amulet. Go ahead and put the Doom Helm back on. And... So everyone's equipment is technically better, although those do offer some good status immunities. Nah, I don't think we need to worry about those any further. Because now, look at where we are.
This is it! The summit of Death Peak! You who fear the night and fight the coming of darkness, lend us strength!
Hayden! The pendant's reacting!
It shattered! No! What use was it to come so far?
Please do not despair. We place too much hope in bringing Hayden back.
Hayden, say something! Don't just ignore us!
A time freeze. I never dreamt it possible.
The Chrono trigger! The Guru's time egg! Those are our past selves! We're really back, right at that instant!
It appears that time has been suspended.
We just need to exchange the Doppeldoll for Hayden.
We got to hurry!
What a relief, Sir Hayden. Thank goodness you are all right.
Save the tearful reunions for later. If we done all we must, let us be on our way.
Hayden! It's about time!
Oh, Sir Hayden, it is a relief to have you with us again.
Hey, guys? Where are we? Where's Lavos?
You big dummy! You wouldn't believe what we had to go through for you! You mess up like that again, and you'll have to get yourself out of it!
Aw, this really shows how much Luca cares.
We had such a terrible time without you! Misty was, and so then we, and even I... Hey, you listening, Hayden? I really can't stand you, you know.
Oh, don't be like that. So now, Crono has returned to us. So not only can we bring Crono back into our party, but he is now an optional party member. Yeah, we no longer need to have Crono in the party from this point onward. Which is going to be nice, because that's going to unlock some interesting new abilities that our party will be able to do going forward. So from this point onward, we have a lot that we're able to do. Now that we've managed to restore our party back to its former glory.
So, all went well? No, don't thank me. I merely placed a piece upon the board. It was not my hand that moved it. If you would thank someone, thank the ones who cared enough to see their friend return to them. By the way, the Wings of Time have come looking for you. They seem to have a heart and mind all their own. You wish to fight Lavos, correct? Many paths lie before you. You might choose to leap into that bucket, or fly the Wings of Time to the day of Lavos. Or there is the Black Omen, which knows straddles time, seeking to summon Lavos yet again. Such folly, lusting so greedily after power that the power wields you. It's up to you to decide when and where you will face Lavos. However, do not think you stand alone. I've had glimpses, albeit vague, of events, people, and places that will empower you. A forest brought back to life by the sheer determination of a woman in the Middle Ages. The fortress of one of Janus's three former generals in the Middle Ages. A task to be done in the future, in a birthplace of machines. A prehistoric stone that will shine with the light of all the ages of the world. The restless spirit of a proud knight, slain by Janus in the Middle Ages, and lingering even in the present. An object of legend in the Middle Ages that sparkles like a rainbow. Speak to your companions. Some among you may well know the figures behind the events which I have seen. Borrow the might of all these lives throughout the ages. Let their strength become your own, for only then can you hope to defeat the enemy you face. Such is the power required, should you wish to change the future. I will remain here, and bear witness to the world's fate.
So yep, the world is now our oyster. With the upgraded Wings of Time and our party fully restored, we now have the ability to not only stop Lavos, but can also change the fate of other people as well. So, it's going to be a while until our next session, but next time we return to Chrono Trigger, we're going to be taking the Winds of Time to all the eras we have previously visited, in the hopes of being able to take care of all the loose ends we can before going to face Lavos. So until next time, have a good day, and take care.